Stirring the coffee with chopsticks, using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started. But first, coffee made in a French press with heavy cream. Nice. Nice. It is a cold day here in Poland. Very, very cold. I could feel it while I was still in bed. And the wind blowing through the cracks in the windows, and just, it sounded like a scary movie all night long. Took the trash out today. Anyone, or early this morning before the Daybreak Show, if you put your trash out on the curb last night, which a lot of people do, the wind was so heavy that it would have blew the trash can over. Hence, there's trash in the streets from people who put their trash out last night. I knew better than to do that because the winds were just whipping last night. So what I do is I take a bungee cord and I stretch it from handle to keep the lid on, and then I bring it out in the morning at about 4:30 in the morning. But some people don't take the hint, and now there's trash all down the street. And we'll see who picks it up. Pretty funny, huh? All right. Hey, this weekend is the Philly Pen Show. I'm not sure if I'm going. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you have not gone to a pen show, if you've gone to trade shows and associations and various conventions and so forth, with vendors and comic cons and things like that, I would say that pen shows are the most fascinating. And if you just go from table to table to table to table, you know, vendor to vendor to vendor to vendor, you'll be in and out quick. If you take your time, listen to people, look at the merchandise, don't buy anything impulsively, mark things down, and then you do a second round in the ballroom. Usually they're held in a big ballroom or meeting room. You'll find something that speaks to you. And that's what fountain pens have done for me. And just as interesting as the fountain pens are, I can tell you, the people of the pen and the collectors of the pen and the vendors are fascinating people. I got hooked on fountain pens last year. I did 2 documentaries, which you need to look up. One is called People of the Pen. The second one is called The Collectors. Fascinating. Search in my videos for People of the Pen and The Collectors. Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Go for a day, half a day, and enjoy. I wish I could have planned this ahead of time and had a meetup at the pen show. That would have been really cool to have anyone within like an hour of Philadelphia converge on the pen show, and then we all meet up later at the end of the day and have coffee or, have a meal together, or have a time together and pull all the chairs together in the lobby, and where we can just kind of chill and talk and get to know one another. That would have been kind of fun. I still might do that. Maybe tomorrow night. That's a possibility. If someone's interested in that, maybe that's something that you might be interested in doing tomorrow night. Well, I got to think about it. Go to my Twitter. My Twitter is @GeorgeBruno, and I will be announcing things there. So make sure to go to my Twitter and check that out. You might say, well, I don't have Twitter. Get Twitter. Just get it. Put it on your phone. You don't have to engage in the drama. Just go there. If you're the kind of person that likes wisdom, there's a lot of wisdom there. There's also a lot of junk there, and drama, and stupidity, and foolishness. But You're a follower of mine. You don't engage in that stuff. You seek wisdom, sanity, clarity, and reason. So do that. So I'll be making the announcement on Twitter if I'm going to be going to the pen show and doing a meetup. Let's get started. Newly single American women, and I've known a few, they go through many stages. The older ones, and when I say older, I mean over 35, but especially in their 40s when they're divorced, they go through the belly dancing stage. They all got to do belly dancing. It's weird. Followed by the body painting stage, where they got to get naked somehow, some way. The V-necks get lower and lower. There's more skin shown. It's like their last hurrah. But they all go through a body painting stage where they get airbrushed or something. There's always something like that. It's a weird little rite of passage for newly single or divorced women. And then they secretly cross the racial dating lines. And it doesn't matter what race the woman is. She crosses the racial lines somewhere and has to explore, but does that privately. Everything else, pictures on Instagram, Facebook. But that one is held usually pretty secret. And then they usually end up with some boring, nerdy, stable guy with a house and a 401k. I've seen that more times than I can even count. Don't doubt me on that. Riding the fence guarantees poverty in the future. It seems like if you're playing the middle ground and not taking sides with people, it seems like a wise thing to do at the moment, doesn't it? Like you don't want to be enemies with anyone. You want to be friends with everybody. Take a stand. Ambiguity is weakness. And eventually both sides look at you as being weak. And they're going to say, take a stand. You can't play both sides. Take a stand. That's your weakness, your inability to take a stand and deal with the consequences. Because you're a people pleaser. You don't want enemies. You don't want to upset anybody. You will never go anywhere in life if you don't upset anyone. Take my word for it. Not everything you do is going to please everybody. A friend of everybody is a friend of none. Two ounces of pipe tobacco in Australia is 91 AUD, which I would imagine is Australian dollars, which is $62.87 in the United States. So literally, the equivalent for me would be $31 for an ounce of tobacco. 31, let me just see. All right, here's just like a little bag. $31. $31 for that. That is taxation at its absolute worst. I thought the United States was bad with its taxes on tobacco and alcohol and vices and things like that. Nevertheless, no matter where you are in the world, taxation is theft. Remember that phrase. Taxation is theft. We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom or classroom. Teacher, leave them kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. Pink Floyd, 1979. New Zealand is just removed enough from Western and Hollywood influence, but probably not for very long. A lot of times countries end up taking on and morphing into the worst of the West. But let me finish this thought. New Zealand is just removed enough from Western and Hollywood influence to produce a different kind of film. casting is a little bit different too, the way they cast their films. The movie Housebound is underplayed and effectively creepy. Find it. I saw it on Netflix. Thank me later after you watch it. I think you'll enjoy it. Housebound. Anyways, the worst of the West. Why is it that, let's say in Europe, that the worst social and pop culture stuff makes its way and stays in Europe? The Asian countries. Why not virtue? Why not character? But other countries think that the United States is so great that they adopt the shittiest parts of this country, the things that I'm ashamed of, the shittiest music. It's strange. It's very strange. We are a bubble here in the United States. A little weird little bubble that will eventually burst, eventually. And those that are steeped in pop culture and trends are going to have a really hard time. When the things that are universal are virtue, protection, provision, boundaries, procreation, raising children, all important. What's not important is dating, being cool, being trendy. All of that is a waste of your life, whether you are male or female. A waste of your life, waste of time. And your life is going to go whoosh, fly right by you. Those of you that are older can already attest to that. I like day life and sunrises. The sun is just getting ready to rise here. I can just see the sky lighting up right now a little bit. I'm not a nightlife guy at all. I'd rather meet someone for coffee than meet somebody for a drink. Another reason why coupling and matching and partnering with someone who is a peer is important and attractive. Similar values are probably the single most important factor in relationships. Similar values. Mismatched values, almost a guarantee of divorce and or breakup. Yeah. Near where I teach in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, I saw a sign on the front of a store that said Erica's Ma. I'm like, what? As I got closer, I saw that it was a sign that said America's Mattress Store, except all the lights were out, except for the ones that spelled Erica's Ma. Strange observation. The worst line a gal ever used on me, she said, I just want to breathe you into my lungs. Like a pickup line. I literally replied, you could have just said, hello, my name is. Women have stupid pickup lines, just like men do. Take my word for it. It's not, only men think that women are the ones getting picked up. Certain communities of men that are just always on the defensive about female nature. What about your own douche nerd nature? I guess you didn't see that, did you? You know what? Give me a nerd girl any day of the week. any day of the week. I think, personally, politically, I think it's time to drain the swamp, and I'm not talking about the classic phrase running around for the past 4 years, but I haven't seen a lot of draining going on in Washington, D.C. It's time to drain the swamp. Screw it. I say release the Kraken on everybody in Washington, D.C. Everybody. Spare no one. Let heads roll. Take out all the pervs, all the pedos. Take them all out. All the rotten under the table, in the dark deals. The people who've gotten rich in politics, expose them all. Release the Kraken, if you dare. Be fruitful and multiply, not be fruity and cuddle a guy. The concept of a men's cuddle group yesterday did raise a lot of eyebrows on Twitter and on YouTube. I don't think men should be cuddling one another, and it's got nothing to do with being secure in your masculinity. It's not normal. Well, it's okay if it's not sexual. How about if your spouse was cuddling your neighbor, but the excuse was, it's not sexual? You see what I'm saying? See the hypocrisy when it comes to sexual orientation? Everything's okay if it's a little bit gay. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay? Everyone gets a pass. Oh, weirdos get a pass. No more passes for weirdos. You don't have to do anything. But no longer give attention to weirdos, perverts, degenerates. No. It ends with you. Pay no attention. Don't give them your money. Smoke them out. Forget it. Turn the tables. Cancel their culture out. It's over, Johnny. It's over. In the new 2020 Gretel and Hansel movie, you can't tell by looking which one is the boy and which one is the girl. This is intentional. It's blurring of genders. It's not a war on men or boys, as some would say, and it's not a war on women or girls. It's a war on divine order. It's a war against the Creator who made man and made woman and made them different and complementary. They are not the same. They are not to go like this. There's man, there's woman. They're not one. There's man and there's woman. And you don't interchange who they are. It's a mockery of how God created man and woman, but it's very subtle, where you can't tell in this movie which one is the boy and which one is the girl. The one who says if it's not hurting anyone, then it doesn't matter, is blind and has nothing to offer you. Cancel them. Stop being a victim. Stop being a victim. You cancel them. You can never successfully play the middle ground, and I'll bang this drum again. You can never play the middle ground successfully. You think you can, but you're deceived. You will always be associated with the most extreme elements, even though you say that you're neutral. You're neutral? Nonsense. By riding the fence, you showed me whose side you're really on. So if you question a men's cuddling group, you're the bad guy. You are the bad guy in pop culture. I'm sure your grandfather cuddled with other men, didn't he? The values of your grandfather work. Don't forget that. Finish your coffee. Have a great weekend. Maybe I'll see you at the Philly Pen Show. But I'll see you Monday morning on the Daybreak Show, the home of sanity, clarity, and reason.